Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is so good to be back with you all and to be able to celebrate Shabbat with you. We are going to get started with our service, and hopefully we'll have some guests join us in a little bit. Our new interim senior rabbi, Rabbi Crystal, will hopefully be here, and perhaps if he's done eating, my new little one, Yuval, will also be able to join with us. But we'll have to start by singing to welcome in each other and to welcome in Shabbat. You know this one. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Now, if you're like me, 5:30 comes around and it's time for Tot Shabbat, but you know what? I still need to make sure that I'm fully here and fully present. So if you are just getting back into the swing of things, just getting ready to join us, let's try that again, because I want to hear you singing with full voice. And trust me, even though I can't see you, I can still hear you. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Let me hear that. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. So when we get ready for Shabbat, we like to invite in some special guests. Now, I know that we are living in a time right now where inviting in special guests is something that we can't do as much of, because we want to make sure that everyone stays safe and healthy. But we have some spiritual, some imaginary guests that we can invite in safely. They can all join in our Shabbat. And my favorite Shabbat guest is the Shabbat dinosaur. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. First we light the candles, then we drink the wine, then we eat the challah tastes so fine. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. Now today, for the first time, I have some props with me. So we have our Shabbat candles. Does anyone else have some Shabbat candles? And we have our Shabbat wine or grape juice. And we have our Shabbat challah. So if you have any of your Shabbat items, get them out so that we can sing. And as we sing, we're also going to welcome Rabbi Crystal, who is coming to us virtually from his home or from temple, but with a screen background of Kutz Camp, which is one of my favorite places, place that I would call home. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. First we light the candles, then we drink the wine, then we eat the challah tastes so fine. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. First we eat the wine, then we drink the candles, then we light the challah. Wait, did I get that right? Or did I get that a little bit wrong? I think maybe I got that a little bit wrong. Maybe you can help me get it right. First we light the candles, then we drink the wine, then we eat the challah. Then we eat the challah tastes so fine. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. Let's do it right this time, and you all are gonna have to help me. Dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. First we light the candles, then we drink the wine, then we eat the challah tastes so fine. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking at my door, and she's come to have Shabbat, and she's come to have Shabbat, and she's come to have Shabbat with me. Well, now that we have our Shabbat guests, I think it's time for us to offer some prayers. But first, let's make sure to introduce Rabbi Crystal. So, for those of you who have not met, this is Rabbi Crystal. Would you like to say something, Rabbi Crystal, to all of our Tot Shabbat friends and families? First, you should make sure that you are unmuted.
It's great to see everybody. And I love the summertime. So you see one of my summertime pictures out at a lake. And one of the other things I love is I love my stuffed animals. Let's see, there you go. You can see my stuffed animal. So he stays in the screen with me. I have a whole lot of them. And if you come to visit me in my office, you can see all my different stuffed animals and toys. And something else that I really like is I really like Disney. So with my mask on, I have a Mickey Mouse mask. Can you see that? So I am really looking forward to being with everybody this year and to telling stories and having a great time together. And I have known Rabbi Gibson for a long, long time, and it's fun to make new friends with Rabbi Corbin and Cantor Berman, and I'm looking forward to a great year with everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rabbi Crystal. So now is our time If you aren't already standing up, I would love to see you stand up and get some bouncy knees. Some bouncy knees so that we can offer our prayers to God and say, hey God, it is awesome to say thanks and praise to you. We're going to do that with the words of Baruch Hu. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. These Hebrew words say, hey everybody, are you ready to praise God? Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorach. And if you're ready, say yeah, and then sing these words. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. We ask God to open up our eyes and let us see the blessings and gifts in the world around us. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Let me see one finger for one, God. As we turn to the Shema, we sing. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Shem Kevod Navuto Leolam Ha'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Navuto Leolam Ha'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Well, I'm so glad that you joined in with me for some of those prayers. If you want, you can have a seat. Otherwise, you are welcome to stay standing and moving around, but I'm going to tell you a little story. So before I start this story, I want to know, have any of you ever been on a really long trip? Have any of you been on a really long trip? How long was that trip? You can check in with your parents if you don't remember. I was just on a trip that took me 2 days to get to where I wanted to go and 2 days to come back from where I was going. And I spent 5 days there. So that was a week, actually a little bit more than a week-long trip. But there have been other trips where it's taken me 7 days to get from the place I was starting, from what was my home, to the place I was ending, which actually turned out to be my new home. Now, in our Torah portion, in the stories that we tell, we are actually telling a story about journeys and talking about the journeys that our ancestors, the people who lived a long time ago, the journey that they took, the trip that they took to get from the land of Egypt to the promised land, to the land of Israel. But this is not a story about them. This is a story about someone who took a journey, who took a trip, and he ended up in this dark, dark woods. Now, I happen to love forests, but when it gets dark, I'm not quite so happy. And let me tell you, this person, Shlomo, was not so happy to be in the dark woods as night was falling. And as night was falling, he tried as hard as he could to find his way out of the woods. And he walked and he walked and he walked, and he noticed a tree and he put a mark on the tree and he turned right and he walked and he walked and he walked. And somehow he still ended up back at the tree. And so he decided that this time he was going to turn left. And he walked and he walked and he walked and he walked. And wouldn't you know, somehow he ended up back at the same tree. And so he decided to go straight. And he walked and he walked and he walked and he walked. And still he was stuck in these woods. And how was he ever going to get out of these woods? Luckily, just then, another person who was lost in the woods came towards him. And Shira was also trying to find her way out and was so glad to see Shlomo. And she said, "Shlomo, nice to meet you. Do you happen to know the way out of these woods?" And Shlomo said, "Shira, no, I have no idea how to get out of these woods. Do you know how to get out of these woods?" And Shira said, "No, I've been walking around here for hours. I can't seem to find my way out." And so Shlomo said, "Shira, you know the way you've gone. I know the way that I've gone. Maybe together we can find our way out together." And so they tried different ways and were able finally to make their way out of the woods so that they could celebrate finding the place that they were going to and celebrating Shabbat together. So I hope that you do not have journeys that take you such winding, twisted ways that you end up lost, but that you do find your destination, you do find the place you are going safely and peacefully, so that you can celebrate wherever you are. We are going to do a couple more songs. This one is a repeat after me song. So Rabbi Crystal, would you like to be the repeat after me to help me out, or are you going to leave it to all of our friends to repeat after me from where they are?
I think we'll leave it to our friends because they're probably better singers than I am.
Anyone can sing. I am a firm believer that anyone can sing. Okay, so remember, you're going to repeat each line after me, and then the last line we're going to do together. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. Who remembers the first item, the first thing we use on Shabbat? Is it the wine, the challah, or the candles? That's right, it's the candles. And over the candles, when we light the candles, we say a blessing that starts, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, and the blessing ends, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. So repeat after me. Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, we bless the Sabbath light. It's your turn. Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, we bless the Sabbath light. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. After we light the candles, we do what? That's right, we drink the wine or grape juice. And that blessing ends. We bless the Sabbath wine. Now it's your turn. We bless the Sabbath wine. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. And after the wine or grape juice, we finally get to eat, and we eat our challah, and that blessing ends. We bless the Sabbath bread. Your turn. We bless the Sabbath bread. Last time. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. We sing Shabbat, we sing Shabbat, we sing Shalom, we sing Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. It is always wonderful to celebrate Shabbat with you, and we are going to end just as we began with the words or the syllables of Bim Bam. And if you know the hand motions, make sure you're doing them. Remember, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. It's hard for me to do that and play guitar at the same time, so you're gonna have to do that from home. And most important, join in with me singing. Bim, bam, dim, 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 bam. Dim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, dim, 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 bam. Dim, 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 bam. Shabbat, shalom, hey, Shabbat, shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, shalom, hey, Shabbat, shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the middle of August for our third Friday night. The date is escaping me off the top of my head, but I look forward to seeing you then. And as we are getting closer to the High Holy Days, if you can believe it, keep an eye out for more information about our Tot services, which will also be online probably. And for all of the other activities that Rebecca Malkin has been organizing, including Havdalahs and story times and trips through the Torah and through Israel as activities. Make sure that you're keeping an eye out for all of that information so that you can join us and that we can see you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.